Alright, so this video is for the Tecumseh Lauson Impulse Starter. This is for your mid-size ones. They make 3 different sizes. They also have a die-cast or aluminum case models. There are also ones that are made by Fairbanks. Alright, now this covers model number 590376, 590378, 590428, 590447. In your standard breakdown, you will, for your engines, you do not see a breakdown of the wind-up starter. That is more or less in the service manual, part manuals for the dealerships, what they would normally own. So anyway, let's get started and show you how this is done. Newell stock parts are very easy to come by for these. I mean, they're just literally everywhere. So you got this guy here, which is your lower drive cup, or however you want to call it, what holds your dogs. Alright, so this is going to go in here. So I use dielectric grease. You can put a little oil or different things in there. I have so much dielectric grease, that's just what I've always used. Now make sure you don't have any dirt or anything in there. Cat hair, dog hair, twigs. Alright, so it's got to shove it down in the cup. It's actually one spring that's doubled. Alright, so go here, pull it over onto the neck. Now, the spring is not really under high tension right now. If it were, there's no way in heck I'd be doing this, because it would be crazy dangerous. Alright, go, and we're in, like so. Alright, now you have your washer, which goes between the upper and lower. I don't know how in the world they came up with such a setup. It's very strange. Alright, now you got your ratchet assembly right here, or ratchet gear. This guy goes into just like so. Alright, and now this guy's assembled. Right, nice and how it should be. Now we have our upper housing. Make sure you have it, might have to sand a little bit if it's rough edges or anything. Give her a little lube-doob. And this is going to go up in. Make sure you have this is your lock. Pull that away. Okay. These are actually spring-loaded too. But pull that out of your way, so that way when you slip this up in, and actually these little fingers here are what's going to catch your little paw, which we'll get to that in a second. So this goes up inside like so. Just like that. Okay? Bam. Now we have to support this. This is our little one. You can see there's, it rolls to this side on the back, and then it's actually slightly tapered, not flat. So this goes in this way, not this way, all right? Very important. There is a top and a bottom. So that's going to go down in like that, all right? It's going to drop into the little side notches in there. Push it to the side. Now this is the spring that holds the paw in, okay? Now you have this here. The little finger should always be facing, what that? The finger faces, man, my hands are slippery, down. That finger goes behind that paw. The round part of the spring goes into here. So I go here, get it behind the paw. And then this finger here actually goes onto the back wall. Hold on, let me get the, come on, go on there. You need to be behind it. It's in behind. The spring goes up and pushes it against the back, just like that. Okay? Nice and seated in there. Let me some light so we can see. Make sure my spring's behind. Yep. All right, it's behind. That's how it should be. All right. Now the next thing is this doesn't fall out the bottom. We have your wind-up handle assembly. Now you have your little paw here, or dog, or whatever. I don't remember which is which. There is a up and a down, or top and bottom to these. I'm going to get the cat hair off somehow. Okay, you have your round side, and you have a flat side. We want to make sure that the flat side is facing there, okay? Let's have this here. Picture it in our heads, and rotate them together. You should have a little lube-a-doob on there, because you want this thing to freely float in and out. Alright? Now you have this. You'll notice there is, the sides are different. They're tapered or flat. Okay? The taper faces up. So that way the handle can slip down onto it easier. Alright? The purpose of this is when the handle is up for winding, it free spins. When the handle is down, it actually pinches this like a brake to keep this from vibrating around. Right? I'll go here, put it over, go in one hole and two holes, just like that. Get this guy nice and centered so we can get him in. Like that. Let's see it. Ratchets, but only one way. Okay? That is all due to this upper ratchet. But you see how easy it spins? When I push this down, it locks. It puts drag to keep it from, wandering around, right? Now, when you're actually winding the spring itself, this is going to be flipped in. You can see when you push this, all right? I'm not going to be really winding it right now. I'm just going to show you. So we have the handle in. When this turns, if I can do it, it will cause that spring to engage like so. Once it's wound and you decide you want to start it, you pull out and it'll release. Now, a lot of people gripe that they don't like these because they're hard to start. Well, if your engine's properly tuned, good spark, good compression and all that, one, maybe two of these winds, not around, but like releases of a wound up impulse starter will fire an engine. If it does not, your engine needs work. So, we got here and here. That goes like that, alright? Now, if I can figure out where was my... We got this guy here. We got this, alright? This little guy goes onto this. I have no idea what it does. I've never actually had anyone explain to me what it does. I've asked a couple people, and this... Oh, man, that darn cat doesn't stop shedding, I swear it. But yeah, I have no idea what this thing actually does. But it's supposed to be there, okay? So make sure you put it on. Now, we're going to assemble our little our lower dogs. I don't want to put too much lube on here because this is going to be more prone to getting dirt. Right? Now, don't forget this washer here. Alright? This is your lower one that goes onto here. You got to make sure you have either this pin or a roll pin in the top of the crankshaft on the engine. It's very important that this lines up centered with the engine. Because when these paws fling out, if it's not centered in that cup over here, you risk damaging either this or this cup. Okay? Very important. Now, I've got our paws here. These got to go like so they fling out. Grease. There is a in and out to these. If you were to put this is how they do go, but if we were to put these in the other way, wow, is that so slippery? This way, they would not retract. So obviously that's not going to work. You got to go this way, all right? Like so. That way they fold in after it starts the engine. Now, don't forget to put on this thing that does whatever the heck it does, because it does something, so it needs to be there. Just like that, for whatever reason. Now, we do have our spring here. Let's see. That goes on. Get this on here. Let's end up on the top. So if we're here, we want this. All right, so we get this in the groove, if I can. Come on. Oh, wow. It wants to go in there, it's just, just scared, that's all. Please get that cat hair off my fingers, because it's driving me nuts. I do not want that. Just pull it off.
I gotta see it first.
That and that piece right there. Get that cat hair off of there. It's better the cat hair than Valentino's lizard hair, because that would be really weird. Oh, I got some of his lizard skin on me again. Ah, there we go. Alright, now that thing's on. Like so. That little guy, see it? I don't even know if you're looking, Robbie.
The camera is.
Now that goes onto this loop right there. Alright? See that? You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, it goes onto there. Come on. You can do it, I believe in you. There we go. Now, what that does is help return your little paws. So it's like when the spring pulls and pulls it back in, okay? Just like that. Easy as can be, right? Then you got your nut, which is at a shoulder. It's a special nut for this, alright? Sometimes you should put Loctite, sometimes you don't need it. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on there just because I don't need it coming loose. Being that this is the customer's machine, and I don't want somebody griping, oh, it fell apart. It's like, well, what'd you do? Well, that's not even a good question to ask, because they probably did something dumb. So, oh, come on, that is funny, because it's true. Alright, so I had to clean this off, and other than that, this thing is technically all nicely rebuilt. All worn out parts replaced or repaired. Everything's nice and lubed, cleaned up. Just as it all should be. Okay? Now some of these are left-hand thread, some are right-hand thread. Depends. This particular one. This is left-hand thread. Alright. I knew it was one or the other. You want to use blue Loctite, not red Loctite, because you need to be able to take it off again. You need to be careful not to get too much, because if you get it down in there, then you're going to cause yourself other problems for future service. But, yeah. And that is our video for you all.